If you want to bring emotionally healthy discipleship to your church, it's critical to think about three large elements that undergird EH discipleship. The first is that this is a large, long-term vision for the church. It's not a program, although there is a programmatic element, which I'll tell you about in just a moment. It's actually a biblical paradigm. It's a shift that actually takes years to integrate. It's a massive shift. And finally, it unfolds from the inside out. It comes from you, then to your team, and to the wider church. It's slow. So for the last 25 plus years, we've been doing research and development. We've been refining this material with churches around the world, and now we've turned this into what we call the Emotionally Healthy Discipleship Course. It's a course with two parts that you can run at your church. It's that programmatic element to transform the culture. It's a way to move people from being simply spiritual consumers into mature disciples who actually move out into the world for Jesus. Now, Emotionally Healthy Discipleship is a course. It's not a small group curriculum. It's meant to be run in a large group setting with people being led carefully through the material by a trained leader. Now, the core of the course is people learning to cultivate their own deep relationship with Jesus. And this learning to be with Jesus in silence and stillness and Scripture is the most important part of the course. It's actually the most difficult as well. One of the greatest scandals in the church today is that we have so many people living vicariously off the spirituality of others. Now, part one of the course is called Emotionally Healthy Spirituality. That applies Scripture deeply beneath the surface of our lives. So, for example, your people will look at David as a model of someone who's profoundly self-aware and broken, yet at the same time, he's got a passionate hunger and thirst for God. Your people will learn that crises and losses are not to be avoided, but are gifts to be received. It's where God transforms us into compassionate people. Your people will also learn to be taught to develop a rhythm, a Sabbath rhythm. That's a countercultural practice that goes against the grain of our 24/7 frenetic culture. Part two, Emotionally Healthy Relationships, shows people how to love others like Jesus. You might be thinking, do we really need to disciple people in loving others? Won't growth and passion for God be enough? Well, that's what the religious leaders of Jesus' day thought too. They were on fire for God, but they were terrible at loving people. And Jesus was not okay with that. In fact, it put them on a collision course with Jesus, who summarized the entire Bible as an unbreakable union of loving God and loving people. And so in emotionally healthy relationships, people learn how to speak clearly, honestly, respectfully. They learn how to stop making assumptions and having unrealistic expectations, and how to resolve conflicts in a mature way. We call that how to have a clean fight, not a dirty fight. They learn how to make a genogram or map of their families, going back 3 to 4 generations, to see how it's impacted them and their relationships today. We're talking here about a discipleship revolution. That is what emotionally healthy discipleship is. It's a move away from the present-day strategy that simply gets people to connect in our churches, serve, and give, which are important, by the way, but it results in only a few people impacting the world. And it's a move to Jesus' slow, life-on-life strategy of discipling the 3, the 12, the 70, even the 500. And these are the ones who had a massive impact. That's why we're sitting here today.